Another channeling from Sirius A, and this will oftentimes have input from Sirius B due to their relationship. So here we go. This is May 8th. You are now allowing for the heart-based awareness connection to our society to be initiated within your own physicalized body. And this, as you have been explained by us before, is the tool that you can use to best connect, to best translate our messages, for it is the heart-based awareness that brings down any type of egoic filtering mechanisms that may be alive within your auric and energetic bodies. Now that you have allowed for the unknown, the unexpected, to be initiated within your system, we can continue to broadcast our message into your nervous system, utilizing your voice as a translation unit. We are partially giving this message in this way, so others who wish to learn how to channel can begin to understand some of the mechanics about how to do it and how to bypass some of the common blockages that many channels on Earth go through when they are connecting to ET races. It is the heart connection to societies that will allow for the clearest information possible to begin to come through, combined with a deep sense of inner relaxation and a deep sense of comfort with the unknown, not knowing what it is you're about to say. Well, now that we have gotten our introduction out of the way, let's move deeper into a particular water-based concept, because, as you know, you're all made of this stuff, so let's explore why water is so relevant to you and how you can practice different magical actions, magical rituals, magical spells with the idea of water. We're using these terms because many people on your world are actually disconnected from the idea of magic in general because of the heavy bias your society tends towards right now in your development towards scientific thinking. The idea here is we are reintroducing you into the notion of magic, understanding that there is simultaneously nothing magical about magic except for the fact that it's completely magical. And we're playing with you right now. The reason we're saying there's nothing magical about it is because we want you to understand it's something you're using all of the time. It is completely tangible to you and completely relevant to your everyday experience, and you're all, in that sense, magicians, using magical abilities at all moments. And in that way, it is completely magical because that's actually how you are manifesting your reality, manifesting yourselves, creating your reality, creating yourselves. All of this is done through what you call magic. Now, many people on your world may hear this and say, there's mechanics, there is scientific evidence that explains how these processes and even these spiritual processes work. There's nothing magical about them. You can break it down and look at it logically. And yes, that is true. You can break it down and look at it logically. However, you can analyze it all you want. You can break it apart and make systems and graphs and diagrams of these abilities and these natural functions of your reality all you want, but here's the thing: as long as you are just breaking it down and not applying it, you're not actually utilizing magic. You are just utilizing the rational thinking, but understand even that's magical because you're using your magic to utilize your rational thinking. We are kind of talking in circles here, but understand we are just proving a point that this quality, this substance, is the framework of creation. It is what you call the unexplainable, because when you break it down, we can't even tell you how this is happening. Now, we can break down and say it's a telepathic link, it's a telepathic communication, this is a telepathic message, but when we break it down far enough, what we are looking at is essentially pure energy expressing itself, stemming all the way from source and divvying up itself, separating itself slightly from its source-based awareness into infinite versions of itself experienced as different incarnations or as different expressions. And when we say this, what we mean is we don't know how that's happening. We just know it is happening. And that is why it is magical. We have no idea how that is happening other than the fact that it is the desire of this singular source-based energy. But we don't know how it's doing that. We just know it does that based on its desire. And that somehow creates existence. That is magic, ladies and gentlemen, and that is what we are saying. We can break down the mechanics of how these things are working, but when we break it down far enough, we have to just say we can't explain why. It just is because it desires it, and we don't know why that is. It's because it's just choosing it. And this is the idea of magic. There is a level to existence, a level to creation that is entrenched in the quality of the mysterious. And that is where your life is going to head very soon for all of you listening. You are about to let go of what you would understand as the known or the learned. Now understand, we know you have learned many advanced spiritual practices, advanced spiritual perspectives that you're using to evolve your point of view and your life. Many of these you are going to let go of as belief. And what you will soon be shifting into is the actual direct experience, the knowingness, the embodiment of these things. Because what you're moving into is what is known as the most authentic point of view of reality possible, because it's the point of view your actual soul is using to navigate. And your soul does not use belief. Your soul uses multi-dimensional perception to actually perceive the structure of existence in a way that is completely authentic to the nature of existence, because it's authentic to the true nature of your soul. So through a deeper understanding of what you'd call the soul, you too will begin to embody its perspective, which again is a level of embodying the knowingness of the structure of creation itself. And understand, this is where you are going. Your beliefs are leading you there. For now, understand, the beliefs are incredibly useful, and they are very much creating a reality, but you will get to a point in your evolution, in your societies, where you will begin to simply let go of beliefs, because you will see that what you were originally believing in is actually true. And you get to this point through, again, creating the positive beliefs you say you prefer and letting go of the ones you don't. The reason the positive beliefs that you prefer are positive is because they're actually in resonance with the structure of creation itself. So as you shift into that point of view, you're actually falling deeper into yourself, which is in resonance with the notion of knowingness. And that is when you tap into what is described as truth. Now remember, at any point in time, even when you're embodying that level of knowingness, you can then implement new belief systems so you can create new possibilities, and you can use the positive beliefs to actually dive deeper into your inner explorations of the self. And it is a multi-layered process of actually using positive beliefs, which will then become knowingness, and then once you're in knowingness, you can then introduce even more positive beliefs to expand your knowingness. And this is actually a step-by-step process you can use to embody the actual perspective of your soul. And you can bring that energy into Earth, and when you bring it into Earth, you are downloading, you are accessing, you are crystallizing all of the other incarnational experiences that your soul is simultaneously having. And this allows for you to actually reap the higher mind knowledge, the higher mind experience, the higher mind guidance of all of these other lifetimes. The reason that this is desirable, the reason that this is exciting and fun, is because when you have those points of view, your perspective becomes even bigger. And you can then create even more diversity in terms of the different points of experiential things you can induce into your frameworks. So in other words, you will have more options to choose from because your point of view will be so expanded from expanding it into these other lifetimes. And you will then be able to access whatever it is you want in this reality, because that is where you are headed. You are headed into the ability to have unlimited options. You are moving past the notion of limitation, and it is through embodying yourself, it is through embodying these higher self perspectives of other lifetimes, you are completely dissolving limitations so you can actually experience the knowingness that you are source energy creating everything on Earth and throughout this multiversal, universal expression. And when you begin to know that, there's nothing you cannot manifest. There's nothing you cannot create. You are accessing all of your power. This is a driving force that you can use to propel your perception of the human story into the realm of the stars, into the realm of its highest vibratory perspective and experiential perspective of its own natural evolution. This is where you are all headed, and we, your guides from Sirius A and Sirius B, will be assisting you in this process, and we wish to now give you some tools to be able to help you expand into this level of inner knowingness. Please understand that this level of knowingness oftentimes is transcending the realm of normal thinking. That doesn't mean thoughts are not present, but what we mean is the thoughts that are based in lower vibrational programs, negative belief-based thoughts, limitation-based thoughts, do not actually have a place in this level of knowingness. So when you're in this level of knowingness, the thoughts you have are typically going to be your brain just processing the reality, as well as the downloading of perspectives from aspects of your soul, oversoul, and spiritual guides. This is the realm of the higher mind and the level of higher thinking that it is interwoven with. And it is through listening, embodying the vibrations of the dolphins, of the whales, of your water, that allows for you to be able to embody this point of view. Now, this is an exercise we are going to now give you to be able to accelerate your consciousness, accelerate your perspectives, so you can begin to dive into a realm of higher knowingness. This is a tool that will be very easy, very accessible for all of you. The idea would be you want to get water that is highly purified, highly detoxified of any substances in your world that are not conducive for physical health. And the reason is that when those substances are consumed, they oftentimes will actually resonate with the negative belief systems and can actually impose levels of subtle limitation in the system. So to have water that has been highly purified and is devoid of most of your contaminants will be the most supportive for the process. The idea here is to add a little bit of what you'd know as sea salt or Celtic salt or volcanic salt or ancient salt, mineral-rich salts from your earth into this water. You would then want to spiral the water 36 times clockwise, and then 24 times counterclockwise, creating a vortex. Once this has happened, you then will want to leave this water covered in a glass container in the sun for approximately 20 minutes. Once the 20 minutes has gone by, spiral the water 36 times clockwise, and then 24 times counterclockwise. Once this has happened, we would like for you to utilize quartz crystals. You can place them near the water. You can place them in the water if you are aware of the quartz crystal being clean and free from any fine particles that might leach into the water. Ideally, a tumbled form of quartz would be the best. The idea would be to place this in the water or in proximity to the water, and to then play through audio tapes, or even better if you can do it in person, the sounds or the energies or the presences of these ocean life forms, of dolphins, of the whales. And don't just limit it to that. All aspects of life within the sea. These beings, these ocean creatures, are actually showing you a state of being you can shift into that is akin to the all-knowing state, because they represent a different level of consciousness on your earth, because they are literally living in a different perception of the earth, a different world. And understand that your oceans are constantly receiving downloads from the cosmos and the innermost aspects of the earth. So they are the most evolved in that sense. They are the most up-to-date in terms of the energy frequencies they are entrenched in. So to play the audio or to have the presences of these organisms, the subtle energy fields of these organisms, in proximity to the water will be the most ideal. And the idea is to allow for the water, still in its glass container, to become saturated with these frequencies, saturated with these energies. From here, the idea would be to then place your hands on the container, left hand and right hand holding it. Begin to then say your positive belief systems internally, directing your attention into the water. So the water will be in resonance with the presences and vibrations of these oceanic creatures, as well as your own positive belief systems. From here, allow for this process to go on for approximately 15 of your minutes. Once this is complete, spiral the water yet again, 36 times clockwise, 24 times counterclockwise. Once this is completed, you may then use this water in whatever permission slip-based way you desire. You can consume the water. You can bathe in the water. You can put the water into your body. You can place it onto different aspects of your body. You can water your plants with this water, which will actually create a level of resonance within the plants. So they will then be growing this vibration and will actually be amplifying it over time. This type of water can be used in all types of creative ways, and these are just some of the ways you can use this crystallized water, embodying the vibrations of the oceans, embodying the vibrations of your positive belief systems, and through consuming it, it will accelerate your consciousness into what we have called the realm of mystery, which is paradoxically the realm of knowingness. They are the same thing. That's why you have the phrase on your world, wisdom is the understanding that you actually don't know anything. Knowingness is the understanding that you actually know nothing at all. That's where these ideas come from. When you embrace your inner state of knowingness, you're also embracing the mystery. And this is a tool you can use, very accessible to all of you, to accelerate your own natural evolution into this direction. And you can also use this water in other creative ways, through belief system programming, to also accelerate your consciousness with our water-based beings, our water-based consciousnesses on Sirius A, and the planets orbiting this star. You will find that our beings are easily accessed if you follow this process. You will actually begin to form telepathic links with many of the water-based, humanoid-based, dolphin-based, dinosaur-based beings, and spirit beings that exist within our different planets orbiting this star. This is a tool we share now with all of you freely, because we are here to assist all of you in your own acceleration. Because remember, it is your choice to accelerate your consciousness, and if you're listening to this, there's a high probability that's exactly where you're going. Thank you for listening to this message. It's been our pleasure and joy to be able to interface with your holographic reality in this manner. Many blessings to your society, and remember to stay thirsty.